But from a Nietzschean perspective, he would say this, which I happen to agree with more than the other approaches. Nietzsche would say, anytime, he would say this about pity as well. So Nietzsche was anti-pity for the same reason that he was so I'm going to put anti-pity and anti-revenge. And he was anti-pity and anti-revenge for the same ultimate reasons, the most clear of which is when you have pity for someone and when you want revenge on someone else, you are simply adding to the misery of the world, including your own. Even though it feels like power, it's a pathetic form of power to seek revenge. If somebody pissed you off, your best approach is to just move on. And so that's why I didn't want to argue with this guy who I'm, talking about in the background here. Same thing with pity. When you feel sorry for someone, and I'm not really strict on this because obviously I feel pity for people, but I try to look at it from this perspective as well. Like if you see somebody who's sick or injured or somebody who's been betrayed, your pity for them doesn't help the situation. It sure as hell doesn't help you, because now you're feeling miserable, or I'm feeling miserable because someone else is miserable. That's only adding to the misery of the world, and that's not the goal.
Until of his own accord he repudiates all weariness, and what weariness has taught through him. Only, my brethren, see that you scare the dogs away from him, the idle skulkers, and all the swarming vermin. All the swarming vermin of the cultured, that feast on the sweat of every hero. I form circles around me, and holy boundaries. Ever fewer ascend with me ever higher mountains. I build a mountain range out of ever holier mountains. But wherever you would ascend with me, O my brethren, take care lest a parasite ascend with you. A parasite, that is a reptile, a creeping, cringing reptile that tries to fatten on your infirm and sore places. And this is its art. It divines where ascending souls are weary. In your trouble and dejection, in your sensitive modesty, does it build its loathsome nest. Where the strong are weak, where the noble are all too gentle, there builds it its loathsome nest. The parasite lives where the great have small, sore places. What is the highest of all species of being, and what is the lowest? The parasite is the lowest species. He, however, who is of the highest species, feeds most parasites. For the soul which has the longest ladder, and can go deepest down, how could there fail to be most parasites upon it? The most comprehensive soul which can run and stray and rove furthest in itself, the most necessary soul which out of joy flings itself into chance, the soul in being which plunges into becoming, the possessing soul which seeks to attain desire and longing, the soul fleeing from itself which
Martin Heidegger, Russell's leading German contemporary, saw Nietzsche as the culmination of the entire history of Western philosophy.
Nietzsche's philosophy is the end of metaphysics, inasmuch as it reverts to the very commencement of Greek thought, taking up such thought in a way that is peculiar to Nietzsche's philosophy alone. Because Nietzsche's fundamental metaphysical position is the end of metaphysics, it performs the grandest and most profound gathering and accomplishment of all the fundamental positions in Western philosophy since Plato.
Who was Nietzsche, this radical, controversial iconoclast? His brief career ended tragically in 1889 when he suffered a complete physical and mental collapse at the age of only 44. He never recovered, lingering on as a pathetic, insane invalid for another 11 long years, till at last he died in 1900.